Dear listener, ClockTower is intended for mature audiences and might be inappropriate or possibly triggering to some. Many of the themes and events in ClockTower are inspired by weird fiction as well as similar concepts, which means the show can get dark.
If that isn't something you enjoy, please listen at your own discretion. We here at the ClockTower care about you, so please put your mental health first. Our show will be here when you're ready.
Welcome to another episode of ClockTower, a D&D 5e experience. For those of you familiar with 5th edition, please keep in mind that all of our players are playing a custom class called the ClockTower Agent. We also play with a lot of house rules in our games that we as a group collectively enjoy. We explain these rules as they come up, so if you're just joining us, you may need to listen to previous episodes just to clear up any confusion. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and welcome to the ClockTower. All of you are sitting around a campfire. The magical wards on either side of the bridge have created sort of a protective barrier that are keeping all of those inside safe. In fact, whatever those things are outside of the wards, they seem to dislike them so much that they don't actually come this way at all. In fact, when they do come this way, they stand and almost watch from the outside edge, and then they disappear. However, it doesn't take you long to realize that the food stores that it seems might have been piled up here as a sort of like a fallback point, like perhaps if there was a war going on and you knew that your front line was going to have to move back to a more fortified position that you would be ready and able to defend. Looks like they might have moved enough of those supplies under this bridge to keep them good for a really long time. And you have no idea how long they've been here, but those resources are starting to run real low. And they didn't mention it. They didn't say anything. They just made food for all of you and gave you all a bowl. And they seem much more curious about who you are and where you're from. So much so, starting that as soon as you are all past a bowl of food and sitting around this campfire, the blonde human guy says, my name is Lachesis, and this is my friend B. She can't talk. And this is Hogren. We're the last of a battalion of frontline mage soldiers. I mean, I wish we had a better name, but that was what the last guy seemed to understand. So, we're kind of all that's left that we know of. And as he says this, Hogren kind of like sighs a big, deep sigh and like takes a spoonful of the soup out and eats it. And as you look at him, he's taking very small spoonfuls at a time, and you realize that all of their bowls are like half as full as all of yours are. And B gives a sad nod in agreement with what Lachesis is saying, and he continues saying, as I said before, there was another guy who came through here. An outsider who wasn't from here. I don't know where he was from or how he survived all this time, but he went to the keep. Do you mind if I ask who all of you are?
Before I answer that, do you know where the keep is?
Well, yeah. And he looks over behind him, and in the distance, on the skyline of the city, you can see the whole city kind of slopes up a big hill with several, like 2 other tiers of the city that go up. And at the top is a big, almost Dracula's castle-looking mage tower, like several spires going up, and very gothic in architecture. Very, very, very fortified, and there's a light on in the top tower of the keep.
How hard of a journey is it to get there?
Well, 5 years ago, it would have been really hard to get into the keep because all the guards would have stopped you from trying to get to the Mage Council. However, now, if you can get there, there aren't any guards to stop you, but that would require you to have to make your way through the entire town, the entire city of, well, we've been calling them remnants, just fragmented pieces of people's soul.
Do you have any tips on how to avoid them?
Be very quiet and move slow. And if they come near you, I don't mean to be rude, but you don't look like mages, which is odd because everyone in our city was taught to be mages at a very young age. I've never met anyone in my life. Well, I hadn't met anyone in my life that wasn't a mage before 2 days ago. And now I'm meeting all of you. Where are you from?
I mean, I dabble. I think we're all kind of from everywhere. Different places, never really asked, right? We're just traveling together.
Nomadic, if you will.
You seem really sweet, and you've got kind eyes. But that was vague as hell.
Thanks. I see you use like a fairy fire room to keep them out?
Yeah, actually, we, for whatever reason, if they're touched by fairy fire, they pop.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah. Just has to touch them. So, we got here by moving quietly, and when a group would start chasing us, we'd actually try and round as many of them up as we could in one circle, and then two of us would cast fairy fire. B can't cast magic anymore, but me and Hogren can, and B would kind of round them up. She's faster than us, and we'd try and get rid of as many of them as we could, but I never really thought about how many people lived in the city until they didn't live anymore.
While the talk is happening, Jaeger, from where he was sitting, will be like, look down at his food, realize that they have less, and then pass B his bowl, and just give her a nod.
B pours it back into the big bowl, which Hogren nods, and they seem like they're setting it aside for later.
Rock would also get up, and noticing that B poured in the big bowl, would also pour it in the big bowl.
They don't really say anything about this, but you feel like they notice and respect that you guys are rationing food like they are.
Mm-hmm. I think Sam would have taken a spoonful just out of courtesy and then poured the rest back.
I was also gonna say that Reagan takes a sip of his.
Something tells me that you all want to get to the keep too, huh?
Only now that you said somebody else was.
We may have business there.
I have a question. That light up there,
Mm-hmm.
was that on before 2 days ago?
Yeah.
All right.
That's where the last surviving member of the Mage Council lives.
Well, I think we know who we have to talk to.
Good luck. They're not a very pleasant person. They don't give a shit about what happened here, and they didn't give a shit before it happened, so...
Maybe talk isn't the right word.
Good luck. They were the most powerful mage before the Mage Council died, and they're still the most powerful mage. They're the only one that survived.
By the way, what did happen here? I mean, your version of it.
To be completely honest with you, I'm not really sure. I know about as much as everybody else knows. We were part of the military for our city, I think is the best way I can say that. We're part of the first line of defense Mage Council's protectorate, and our job was generally just to make sure that everybody was safe and sound most of the time. That anyone disrupting the peace, we do what we could to make sure that any conflict was resolved peacefully and everybody got what they needed. A lot of the time, our job was just distributing food to various people. Honestly, it all seemed like all the training we went through was kind of unnecessary. And then all of a sudden, everything started just happening all at once. You know, you hear a couple rumors once or twice about some sort of new enemy outside the gate, and then the next day you hear about that the city a couple miles over just fell into complete ruin. Everyone was dead. And then next thing you know, you see them ripping people out of their own bodies. I think our city fell about 2 days after that, and we've been surviving here for the last 4 years. There were a lot more of us for a long time. We figured out pretty early that fairy fire would stop these things, but by that time we didn't have enough manpower to get rid of enough of them. And we didn't, obviously, we didn't know what we know now. We didn't know to round them up and try and get as many in one group as you could. Kind of wish we did, but...
Do you still have hope?
Kind of a hard question to answer, isn't it? And it's been a long time since I even thought about that word, but I don't know about hope. I'm just kind of curious, you know? Just wonder if there's anyone else out there. Or if it is like it seems and we're really the last ones at all alive. Good to know the Mage Council still doesn't really care, though. Last surviving member hasn't tried to help or said anything to us.
Your name is Lachases. I just want to make sure I got that right.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say you're the only ones left.
You've seen others?
Yeah. I mean, some ain't as friendly as you, but...
Roll a persuasion check. Actually, you might need to roll a deception check.
That's a straight lie, my guy. I ain't helping you with that.
Thankfully, I'm semi-good at this.
Anyone want to aid me at all?
I'll aid you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I ain't helping you lie to these people.
I ain't helping you lie to these people.
Also not helping you lie to these people.
I will definitely help you lie to these people.
That's a 16.
You beat him by 1. He looks kind of hopeful that there are other people out there and that they're not surviving for nothing.
I mean, hey, sometimes all you need to know is just that there is someone else out there and you ain't sitting at the edge of the world, right?
You see B actually wipe tears away from her eyes, and he just gives you a solid nod.
Well, I think it's time for us to keep moving.
We've got a destination, so...
If you guys headed to the keep,
I think so, yeah.
we don't have any business going there. It would be too much of a risk at this point for us to go with you.
Understandable.
But we don't have any more use for these. Not really, anyway. Hogren, I know the spell by heart, so take as many as you need. And he tosses a small duffel bag out, and you see a bunch of well-polished rods kind of spill out of the bag as he tosses it over to you guys. And you see in very fine engravings, all along each of the rods individually, is that same series of glyphs for fairy fire. And with your knowledge that you've gained from the ClockTower, you realize that these are all wands that cast fairy fire.
Sam would like to suit up like an Old West gunslinger with like harnesses and belts of them.
Each wand has 3 charges of the spell fairy fire. Once the charges are spent, it is effectively a stick.
Rock will just take the duffel bag, throw it over their back, kind of carry it.
And you see they have several of these bags. So you're not even taking like all of their supply, and they know how to cast it themselves.
Thank you for your hospitality.
He nods.
And good luck.
Best of luck to all of you too.
Rock, as they walk away, would kind of look past and go, keep your head up, but don't forget to take a breath every once in a while. And we'll start walking on.
They all kind of look at each other and nod, and B kind of like waves at you guys as you're leaving. Just like a very cute but somber goodbye.
I would like to shake all of their hands.
Lachesis shakes your hand, like firmly, as if he respects all of you. And just gives you that, like, looks you dead in the eyes and gives you a solid nod. And Hogren, like, grabs your forearm instead of your hand and then, like, wraps you up in a big hug, kind of. And then, like, just paps you on the shoulder. And he just says, careful.
I nod, say, my name's Reagan, by the way.
Hogren.
Be well. And if nothing else, you've met 4 new people.
Sam, before they walk out, takes one of their dice from their liar's dice kit, takes it, puts it on a 4, puts it in the center of the group, and then walks out.
Rock, distinctly, after saying what they had said, just keeps walking without looking back.
All right, give me some wands. So he starts walking away. He like pulls out 4, puts them in like into small holsters at his waist.
How many wands do you guys have, like, ready on your person?
4. It's a.
I'll say that Rock will just be the equipment carrier in this, so that if you guys just guard me, you can keep loading up on as many wands as you need.
It will be an action to take a wand out of the bag. It'll be a bonus action to draw a wand from your person. We'll say the most you can have equipped is 4.
Sam would have 4, 2 in the side pockets on their offhand, where they don't usually carry their normal rod, and then 2 tucked into their kind of shirt.
Rock would probably take out at least 2 and put them in the corners of their sash, just to have in case.
Nice.
But mainly keep the main bulk of them as some form of pack mule.
Also, I didn't cover it when we entered this world because I kind of low-key forgot. And I don't imagine for the setting of this world, your guys' outfits change all that much. But do you guys have any flavor text you'd like to add about how your outfit has changed at all?
Reagan looks roughly the same, but all of the gold that was once on his coat and other garments is gone.
Oh, Jaeger doesn't have his coat and hat anymore, but shirt that he's wearing has become sort of a high-collared deal, and the back and front both flow between his down to about his knees. Not really a robe, but more like a half robe.
Nice.
I would say that most of the clothes that Rock is wearing are the same as usual, but the color has faded, maybe about a half opacity, to where it looks like it's been worn for much longer than it has, and the jacket is a couple inches lower to the ground, almost like a duster.
Nice.
For Sam, clothing almost looks a bit more militarized. The pants flare out a bit more as they go into the boots. They have more almost slots in their belt where they could hold wands or scrolls or whatever they need. And their little half cap is tighter up so they have more mobility in their arms.
All right. Awesome. As you guys are all moving through the rest of the city, you want to give me a stealth check?
I also want to say that I have 3 wands on me, 2 in my pockets, and 1 in my hand.
All right.
Ooh, child, this is my worst roll.
Are we still doing the advantage from the illusions at the moment, or no?
I hadn't said I'd cast an illusion, but I will happily do so if given the chance. So, I'd cast an illusion away from us. You continue to cast it, just keeping...
All right.
That's a 17 for Rock.
Nice.
It's a 15 for Sam.
Nice.
It's an unnatural 20 for Reagan.
12 for Jaeger.
You guys succeed. You managed to sneak your way through a lot of the city. The pathway through the city itself is not that difficult. However, it definitely doesn't do much to add to any idea of hope that you feel like this town might have. Any food that you guys see has kind of been improperly stored in rush conditions for a while and is just rotted away. And you don't see any ideas of food that might actually work otherwise. There are plants overgrown everywhere up different buildings. And when you do finally make your way all the way up to the town square, you see that there is a large drawbridge that leads to the keep that is currently up. And there isn't a lever or anything like that, just a really big bell in the center of the town square.
Rock will lower the duffel bag slowly onto the floor as to not make a loud sound. Go. If you haven't already, load up, and would put 2 more into their sash.
Now, question. We don't have to be standing out here when we do this. I have a gun. We can post up on a rooftop, fire, and see what happens.
As you say that, and you look around to any rooftop you might be able to post up on top of, you do see brief figures of movement in most of the buildings. And not necessarily on the rooftops, but in alleyways, in the shadowed places among the city. They're not usually out around right now. And you see one pretty far in the distance that's just freaking out in the middle of the road, which you know is a precursor to probably more of them being around you guys.
The drawbridge.
Mm-hmm.
It's up, of course.
Mhm.
Is there a place to where if we ring the bell, we could jump down and hide?
Well, you look down and you just see the chasm below where a moat would be just goes down, and there's you realize the keep is floating.
Sam,
Yeah?
we ring the bell. Do you have some way to make more bell noises away from us?
Not really. I'm more of a visual rather than an auditory, but I can make it. I'll have to focus on it, but I can make a person run away, like actively, not just a figure. And I can move them inhumanly fast.
That might be perfect, actually. If they have something else to chase besides us, and if we just stay very, very still, or have something to hide behind, that might put us in the clear.
This bell, does it look like it would ring once and it would just be a one shot? Or does it look like something that may have some pull to just keep swinging?
It seems like it might have some momentum. It's like on a singular rope. So,
Rock would then turn to the group and go, that bell's gonna keep going for a good minute. That's a signaling bell. That's not a I'm here. That's a keep it going bell. And something tells me if that keep is floating, then this bell is connected to that keep in some way to where as it keeps moving, that drawbridge comes down. And I'm worried that if that thing stops moving, that drawbridge goes up.
All right, so we pull it as far one way as possible.
And then we guard.
I can make illusions so they swarm those, and then you can fire off, right? Just make small little zones of go there, not us. Plus, if need be, we don't have to ring the bell at all, right? We can try and climb the drawbridge unless it's already up, all the way up.
Ellie?
you could try and climb the drawbridge, but I'm not going to tell you whether or not it'll work.
How high up is that drawbridge?
How far away is the drawbridge?
Far away, it's not. It's like
Okay.
it's like you're on one side, and it's like a two-sided drawbridge.
Cool.
And the drawbridge is about 30 feet that it goes up. So it's a 60-foot gap.
Find some rope, maybe a hook, something.
I could try to use my sword as some sort of like puncture to where I could just climb using that.
Yeah, you
We'd
just need
still
a
have to make
second
it
one.
across.
Look, if we don't finish this soon, that guy is going to find whatever he needs to find and end this now. We need to come up with a plan.
And if we don't plan correctly, we're starting all this over again.
We have time.
I don't know if we do.
Does he reset? We have no idea if he does.
Considering he was after what apparently we were after, I don't think he plays by normal rules.
I don't know.
Maybe we do the first plan. And we ring it to see what happens, and I can make my illusion run away while we all hide. And if that doesn't work, we can just scrap it, because it'll be far away anyways, and we'll try another. No point in committing full send to one thing, right?
All right, if we have an easy out of that first option, let's do it.
All right.
Well, it's the pool.
Let me get my illusion set up first. Sam is going to get hidden away with the group, cast silent image of person, and then using their link, get the person ready to, far away from the group already, but ready to run. She's gonna field.
Is anyone gonna reach under the bell and try and grab the thing to ring the bell?
Rock will do it.
As you reach under the bell, you don't feel anything. And as you are kind of confused by this, you look under the giant bell, and it looks like someone has cut the bell ringing, like the inside of the bell off of the bell itself.
Rock pulls out their sword, sticks the sword up into the bell if they can reach it, and starts swinging it as a makeshift rope.
Well, not a makeshift rope, but you're
ringing the bell.
I'm trying to ring the bell.
right. You could hit the bell with your sword. That would also equally.
Can I lightly tap it?
Yeah.
I don't want to full force swing this.
Right. Yeah, you flip the blade side around so you're not hitting it with your blade.
Yeah.
And you're bing, 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 bing.
Just a one bing.
One bing.
One bing.
You hear one bing, and it echoes through the silent city a lot, very loudly. And you see some rage ghost down the street tackle Sam's illusion, screaming wise.
Right, it's sprinting, by the way. It's sprinting away.
Oh, yeah, no, so are they.
Mm-hmm.
One of them's on its hands and knees, just like crawling after your illusion, and it like tackles your illusion, and your illusion. They phase through, and they try to attack it for a good couple seconds after that, until they realize something's going on. And as you hit the bell once, you see the drawbridge go, as like dust falls off the drawbridge a little bit, and it moves ever so slightly.
Jaeger said to me, keep ringing it. So I'm gonna look to the party.
Jaeger's gonna go into a like a duelist stance with the two wands, and he's just gonna twitch his fingers and wait.
You better hope it goes fast, because they are coming.
I'm then gonna use all of my speed and power to just like, you know when you mash the X button trying to do a quick time event? Just bing, 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 bing.
Roll initiative.
So at what disadvantage am I, seeing as I'm ringing this thing?
You're the person they're trying to protect right now.
Yeah. Should I also...
Your initiative will be you dinging the bell.
Hey.
Hopefully our initiative isn't awful this time.
Oh no, mine's pretty good.
Darbii, oh no.
Didn't give someone guidance. Oh well.
I love that Sam has used dancing lights more than he's used guidance.
It's a really good spell in this context.
But yeah.
However, it's also a first level spell, so you don't really want to waste that too much.
For those that can't see the table, there's so many.
So, did anybody have above 20?
I've got a natural 20.
Nice. I got a 10.
What'd you get?
18.
14.
All right, Rock. Based on how fast the drawbridge is going down, it looks like when you start ringing it as fast as you can, the drawbridge will be completely down in 24 seconds.
4 turns.
4 turns.
Am I able to relay that to my party?
I think everybody is kind of a little bit more preoccupied. Speaking of, Sam, it's your turn.
Oh, joy.
Yeah, you guys are surrounded.
Yeah, give me a sec to actually look at the map.
Just consider that 20 feet back, draw a straight line, and that's where the drawbridge starts and where the area you guys are in it ends.
Yeah, so I'm going to move about 5 to 10 feet back and then cast Fairy Fire on the giant group of them with one of my wands, not actually one of my spell slots.
Smart, yeah.
So I'll put it right about there.
Yeah, right in a cluster of about, like 10 of them.
Yeah, right about there.
How much, what's the range on it?
So the range for the actual spell is 60 feet, and then it'll be a 20-foot cube on the point of impact.
So you're putting it right here?
Correct.
5, 10, 15, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And the DC for the wands is 16.
Awesome. So it's a 16 dex.
They have a +5 dex.
Oh, roll less than 11.
17. Pass.
Never mind.
Out of the 9 that were within your cube, you got 5 of them that imploded. The other ones seem to have sort of phased out of existence for a second before popping back in. And the sound that happens when they're touched by the fairy fire is like they are screaming from inside their core, and then the screaming gets higher pitched, and then they just pop.
Oh, like popcorn.
Yeah, kind of. Except there's just this like sort of red mist that dissipates, and then they're gone. And with that, I do believe you use movement action.
Yep. And I have no bonus action, so it'll be my turn.
All right, Jaeger, your turn.
Yeah, I'm also using the wand to cast Fairy Fire. I'm using it essentially, I'm just doing a quick draw, firing on this group to the right here. So should be around here.
Only those 2. Okay. That guy, he's done. That guy, he's also done. Both of those boys out. And again, as Jaeger whips around and fires the wand as if it were the gun that he's so used to using, the misshapen spirits sort of scream out and then pop and dissipate into mist.
And then Jaeger will then take a step to the right to step in front of Rock to make sure that they can't get to him.
All right. Just dual-wielding wands.
Yeah, just dual-wielding wands in both hands.
I should have said this on Sam's turn. Sam, I'm sorry. You can take a point of inspiration rather than rolling back the turns. These wands are considered light weapons.
Oh. One more directly in front of me.
Okay. 2 more down. However, there's still a sizable force on a rough count. It looks like about 10 more guys roughly scattered around you. Rock, it's your turn. Would you like to do anything else this turn, or would you like to continue hitting?
Ding, 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 ding.
Rock just going as hard as they can on this bell. Please! Does Rock actually say anything as they are hitting the bell?
Rock would probably start muttering under his breath, go, 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 go. But as he keeps doing it, probably go ding, 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 ding. Just like panicking with the bell.
Just watching the drawbridge inch down with everything.
Thinking that if he says the
"Come
sound that it's
on!"
doing, it might go faster.
If I make more noise, it'll go faster.
Ding, 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 ding.
Reagan, your turn.
I'd like to pull out another wand
All right.
so that I have 2 in my hands. No, next.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Kill those 2, the 2 that are closest to me.
Reagan
And then-
gets one of them as the other one disappears.
I'd like to fire at the 3, including the one that I shot at that succeeded.
He succeeded again.
Oh my god.
His friend passed, and his other friend passed. Wow. They all did real well that time. That's bad.
That is unfortunate.
It's now their turn. They can each move 45 feet. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. Oof. I did say they were fast.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's monk speed. I know for a fact they can make that.
Let me count this real fast.
It's a lot of attack.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 deck saves. I'm going to do these 5 to Reagan, these 3 to Jaeger, and this one to Rock.
Oh no.
Natural 20. Nice.
Does a 12 save?
No, it doesn't. I did in my head. I've been using the same save for everything.
I got 3 18s in a row.
Nice.
Am I able to use a ClockTower die?
Yes.
I will.
Your luck ran out.
Yes. 15 meets beats.
The ding, ding, ding prevails.
Meets beats 15.
I use a ClockTower die. Because I ain't talking to the owl.
So, Reagan, you succeeded all, or 3 of them. So, out of 5, you succeeded on 4, right?
Yes.
Okay. You take, 8. As all of you manage to survive the onslaught of the spirits trying to grab you, and you all sort of fending them off, you all seem to ready attacks. However, in the peripherals of your vision, at the edge, coming up from deep within the town, you hear more distant screaming as you see a second wave start to run up to attack you. Hey, Ellie again. Thank you for listening. As always, I'd like to thank our producer, Who's, at who's.music, and our Dead Air team for making the episodes what they are. I would also like to thank our sponsor, Alpha Lupine Images, for donating the equipment to help us make more content with better quality. Thank you to Darbii, Cal, Parker, and Trent for their great performances. As always, I'd like to thank you for listening. We release on a bi-weekly basis, so episode 28 will be out on Friday, July 9th. Until then, time's ticking. See you in the clock tower.